looks like I might combine the other tweets with these, because I'm almost done with the first one, with the first group of tweets. Okay, gee whiz, whatever happened to Cressida? Oh, Kate happened. Your favorite role is a toxic mess who sends other women running away. Probably why she has 0 friends. Let that sink in. Well, she's in that situation that she's in now, where, I don't know, they could, the other royals, the men especially, was the Queen Consort, the side hoe.
Do you think Mrs. Parker Bowles was a factor in the breakdown of your marriage?
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
The Queen Consort, the side hoe, will run all over her because there's no one to back up Kate, you know? So she got what she deserved, and at the same time, the universe react, okay, in Harry's favorite. Each time Harry tried to meet someone new, try to continue a relationship, the universe react in Harry's favorite. Look who he ended up with. All right.
England in 1837 had enjoyed more than 200 years of prosperity and global power. That success had been fueled by the slave trade, but within 12 months, slavery would be abolished. A new monarch, Victoria, was crowned. This should have marked the end of the story of slavery. In fact, the Victorians replaced shackles of iron with the poison of racial prejudice.
Came to find out, it's called Slavery Abolition Act in 1833. You could look that up.
We have developed a kind of amnesia about history. It's an amnesia which you can understand. It's an amnesia that comes from a sense of guilt, a desire not to remember the past, because to remember the past is to remember a troubled and anxious and sometimes barbaric set of realities.
Look who he ended up with.
This woman existed. All the alarm bells rang at Buckingham Palace, and I could almost hear them saying, "Pull the shutters down. It's an invasion."
She's mixed race, she's American, she's a divorcee, actress. Those are 4 ticks. No member of the royal family, the senior members, ever thought they would see having to be ticked.
The universe react, okay, in Harry's favorite. Each time Harry tried to meet someone new, try to continue a relationship, the universe react in Harry's favorite. Look who he ended up with.
When it came to Harry's bride.
Look who he ended up with.
All the things that frightened the royal family have suddenly arrived on their doorstep.
And promoting their self-worth. How do you hope to continue that work with the Royal Foundation?
Yes, I mean, I think that knowing that I've just been here for 3 months, right? And in that amount of time, but with that said, for me, it's very important to, once you hit the ground running, even if you're doing it quietly behind the scenes, which is what I've focused my energy on thus far.
All the things that frightened the royal family have suddenly arrived on their doorstep.
Once you hit the ground running, even if you're doing it quietly behind the scenes, which is what I've focused my energy on thus far, is meeting with the right people, meeting with the right organizations behind the scenes quietly, learning as much as I can so that I can maximize the opportunity we have here to really make an impact.
All the things that frightened the royal family have suddenly arrived on their doorstep.
I think what's interesting is I hear a lot of people saying, when speaking about girls' empowerment, finding and knowing their worth, or women's empowerment as well, you'll often hear people say, well, you're helping women find their voices. And I fundamentally disagree with that, because women don't need to find a voice. They have a voice, they need to feel empowered to use it, and people need to be encouraged to listen.
All the things that frightened the royal family have suddenly arrived on their doorstep.
And I think right now in the climate that we're seeing with so many campaigns, I mean, with Me Too and Time's Up, there is no better time than to really continue to shine a light on women feeling empowered and people really helping to support them, men included in that. I mean,
all the things that frightened the royal family have suddenly arrived on their doorstep. I can hear Diana laughing now.
Meghan's marrying into a family which has, to put it mildly, a dodgy track record on race. It's not Meghan Markle's problem, it's their problem.
Racism as such, as a philosophy, kicked in was as a direct reaction to the abolitionist movement. The abolitionist movement, driven by some of the leading intellectuals of the day, as well as driven by hundreds of thousands of ordinary people in this kingdom who signed petitions after petitions and presented them to the House of Lords. When the abolition movement really kicked in from the 1780s onwards, the planters had to respond. And so this is where you get the most virulent imagery about brutal, pagan, bestial.
But the media is a powerful force.
Black people in the literature and in the imagery.
Cartoons portraying black people as licentious and depraved began to circulate.
But the media is a powerful force.
The anti-abolitionist Edward Long wrote,
"The lower class women in England are remarkably fond of the blacks. In the course of a few generations more, the English blood will become so contaminated with this mixture as even to reach the middle and then the higher orders of the people. This is a venomous and dangerous ulcer that threatens to disperse its malignancy."
Universe react in Harry's favorite. Look who he ended up with. Someone with moral and self-respect, and has done many of those stuff where they really have nothing to really complain in terms of her past about. They have to make up stuff.
I was called by the Sun newspaper. If you don't know what the Sun is, it's sort of
got the topless girl on page 3. That's all you need to know.
And they called me about a month ago to ask if I'd write about how Meghan was like Wallace and how Meghan was going to destroy the royal family and the arguments between Meghan and Kate. And I said, I'm really sorry, I'm just not privy to all of this. I don't think I could do it. And the commissioning editor was really twisting my arm to write this article and say, but you could say, couldn't you, that X happened, and you could say that she's fired all her staff, and you could say that Kate has said this. And I said, well, I'm really sorry, I don't know that, I can't do it. And this conversation went on for about half an hour, and I didn't write the article, but it just gives you an insight into how this whole thing is being, you know, the flames are being fanned by the media.
They really have nothing to really complain in terms of her past about. They have to make up stuff.
know we can rely on you for being a great guy. So what an incredible friend you were to Meghan Markle is. Have you guys hung out at all since then?
No, we haven't spoken. She just wrote me a very nice thank you letter and I framed it, and that was very nice of her to do. She just appreciated that I was honest, but it's so funny that we live in a time where everyone's like, it's such a big deal. I just did the right thing.
Right.
You know, it's okay to feel like that should be the norm and the status quo, but it's like, whoa, it's so crazy. He told the truth. I think we should all be a little more honest.
Well, thank you for doing the right thing.
Alright, so this is how some people's eyes are open, because Meghan have never done anything in the sense where she should be dehumanized the way that these people are going out their way to write nonsense about Meghan. And I don't think, in my humble opinion, those other exes will be able to handle it, what Meghan is going through. Alright? And this is why. I've said this so many times. Some squad, you know, they didn't bash me for it. They reject the idea that Harry quickly married Meghan because he did not want Meghan to run away. And then he quickly put those babies in place and said, "You stuck with me." This is exactly what I thought. I've been saying this. And then when you look at the Netflix documentary, he talked about that, where many of these girlfriends running away from him. All right, the tabloid chased them away. And then I don't blame those exes. Not everybody could sustain this kind of harassment. But look who Harry ended up with, a biracial woman, something that they did not want the monarch to have. So it's their own fault that Harry ended up with Meghan, because the universe reacted based on what they did to him and put a perfect woman. There's no perfect human being, but I could say the way from the time Meghan have met Harry, she did the right thing. And then everything she projected for herself, okay, look at it in the documentary. She went back to her old school, and then what she wrote in her and the yearbook for, I think that was the principal, okay, and she fulfilled it. So you could say Meghan is one of the perfect human being, whether or not you agree with it, but based on the steps she has taken, leading her up to now, she did the right thing. All right, I know I'm gonna get some pushback on that, but you could say she did the right thing for herself. And then this is what really adores that captivated Harry. All right, let's see here. Harry's ex, Cressida Bonus, ended romance after being spooked by Kate Middleton, author claims. That and the tabloid. Prince Harry's ex-girlfriend, aspiring actress Cressida Bonus, ended the romance with him after she was spooked by his sister-in-law, Kate Middleton, an expert claim. Alright, this photo breaks my heart. Oh, I read this once. You could read it. Alright, so you want a grown man to still stay at his father's house. Alright. I love this. Okay, as usual, those articles about Meghan not having any friend were projection. Imagine how insufferable she's become since snatching the Prince of Wales title 5 minutes after Betty kicked the bucket. Oh my god, we saw how she treated Meghan in front of the cameras during the funeral. All of the women over there. Well, I will not say all. Well, the group. I'll put the screenshot of what I'm talking about. Alright, so karma will come. There's what is it? What's her name? Eugenie. She's definitely Harry's good cousin. Alright, let's see here. God, she is absolutely worse. Kate wanted Harry as her shadow husband. Maybe that's what they were looking for, where the husband could do whatever, and then they have Harry, you know, they tie Harry over there, cannot have his own, but to keep this one happy, you know. But oh god. But anyway, K. Cruella, the KKK. Why KKK allowed her staff to smear Meghan when she was pregnant, but apparently that's not enough. Look like the unhinged woman wants to fight. Seek help, KKK, quickly. Yep, Harry saying, yep, that's my wife right there. That's my wife. She wished that her husband could treat her like the way Harry's treating Meghan. She just wished, but that's not gonna happen. Right? Because you already, how will I say, before she even entered the royal family, she already gave away her dignity. All right, Meghan looks petrified here, and Kate's face is quite threatening. Yeah, and also I talked. If you look at during the funeral, there's some videos that I did. I spoke about it. Meghan was terrified. When you look, knowing what we know now, the things that were going behind the scene, things that they were trying to make people do to her. These are the thoughts the royal family were thinking. Okay, because he had that meeting with that horse face, whatever you call, the Rottweiler that Princess Diana called. Okay, so they gave him the okay to write this nonsense. All right, let's see this here. Haha, so true. Let's see here. Okay, Prince Harry is said to be head over heels for English actress Gabriella Weld, but she's hesitant to start a relationship with the ginger Casanova because of Kate. Quote, Harry is a huge fan of Gabriella and she likes Harry a lot, but she is very wary of becoming another Kate Middleton's. Wow, that wasn't good, by the way. A source told the UK Sun. Quote, she is put off by the huge glare of the spotlight that surrounds everything Kate does. Okay, this isn't the first time Kate has chased away one of Harry's girlfriend. Kate and Harry's special relationship is said to be one of the main reasons why Harry's on and off again squeeze Chelsea Davy won't make an honest man out of him. She was frightened by Kate's perfect persona. She was frightened by Kate's perfect persona. She was frightened by Kate's perfect persona and didn't want to be constantly compared to the people's new princess. You got to feel a little for Harry, don't you? He sounded like a sad puppy dog when he told Katie Couric he wanted to. Okay, it stopped there. I would like to finish with it. Well, he said it in the documentary, where after a couple, 2 or 3 girlfriends, and you know, he's like, wait a minute, do I really want this? He said it. Alright, so they pretty much chased Harry out. Okay, he wanted a life of his own. Okay, and then he said, okay, him and Meghan wanted to stay for at least the minimum 2 years to help the firm, okay, and then move on, but they rejected him. Okay, so he's like, okay, I'm gone. Okay, there is something about Kate that nobody wants to talk about. And just like that, Cressida was ex and Harry met the one who was not and is not intimidated by Mean Girl, Mumble cosplaying Karen. No need to call manager this time, trust. The way she put it, she wanted Harry for herself. I think so too. While the husband was doing whatever, then Harry could step in. Okay, I think she was more than spooked. So were the others. It took a brave woman to stand up to Kate Mean Girl's antics. Yep, KKK strike again. Let's see some of these. Okay, how William and Kate caused Harry's relationship breakdown with Chelsea Davy. Okay, why the Duchess of Cambridge will not want Prince Harry to marry Cressida. Were a snub, awkward moment. Kate Middleton avoided shopping trip with Meghan Markle. Alright, Kate Middleton stopped Sophie Wessex's rejection from Duchess of Cambridge special project. Okay, Kate Middleton's secret feud with Beatrice and Eugenie. That is true. We could from that video before, we could see how Eugenie was acting. Okay, push her out of the way. I thought she got to Chelsea also. People who call Meghan bad names owe her an apology. This is a huge package for God, a baggage for God, because Meghan did nothing wrong. She just loved the guy who wanted someone to love him for who he is, and he got it, and then they didn't like that. If they had left everybody else alone, let them live their lives, maybe things could have been different. But the universe reacted and give Harry a strong woman to deal with this pest. That's exactly what they are, a pest. These people are pests. Okay, people who call me, okay, I just read that. This is a PR shot because if the 3 were close, none of what has been done to Harry will have ever happened. Chef Chickism. Kate incestuously yearn after Harry like Potiphar's wife did to Joseph Mary the Bible. Alright, let's move on. I stayed too long on this one. Next one.